The eyes of the world are fixed on the Middle East. Every day, the papers of all major countries carry lead stories about Israel, Iran, Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Pakistan, and other Middle East nations. Further, it is evident to all that the nation of Israel is increasingly under fire, both politically and militarily.
The militant Shiites in Iran are openly racing, boasting that they're racing to develop nuclear weapons, with the explicit announced goal of wiping Israel from the face of the earth.
Many believe the Middle East is about to explode and drag the world into one of the most difficult and terrifying conflicts in world history. The prophets in the Old Testament predict just such a situation will occur. In this documentary, we will present 8 specific predictions about events occurring in Israel now, or that will unfold in the months and years to come, that show biblical prophecy is being fulfilled in our day. The first prophecy we will look at is a nation reborn. We will take you to Tel Aviv, to Independence Hall, where it all started in 1948, when David Ben-Gurion announced to the world the new state of Israel.
This building is a historic building because Israel was born here. And this was one of the greatest moments in the history of our people.
In our segment, A People Regathered, we will see how God's promise to regather the Jewish people from over 100 nations of the world has occurred just as he promised more than 2,000 years ago.
I think the very fact that this nation was reestablished 60 years ago, the very fact that it has gone from probably in 1948 less than 500,000 Jews to a country of almost 6 million now, is all prophecy being fulfilled. The Jews are being regathered to the land of Israel. Christ will eventually reign from here. I think we're seeing prophecy in many ways being fulfilled.
In a land resettled, we will see how God fulfilled his promise to resettle the Jewish people in the land of Israel.
We're seeing in Europe today a tremendous influx of extreme Islam in Scandinavia and France, and the Jews are pouring out. They're scared. They don't know, and they're going to come here. And with the help of God, we'll see the influx of Jews. We'll see the coming of the Messiah. We'll see the building of the temple.
Then, in a city reunited, we will see how God fulfilled his promise to the Jewish people to give them back their beloved city of Jerusalem.
The Temple Mount is the soul, heart, and spirit of the Jewish people. It is the gem of Jerusalem, one of the most important sites in the history of the world, and the focus of Judeo-Christian belief.
In a conflict rekindled, we will examine the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and see where God says this will lead in the future. In an alignment of the nations, we will talk about the nations the Old Testament prophets predict will come against Israel in the last days.
We are being not only told that we'll be wiped off the face of the earth, but also that Iranian-backed proxies are establishing themselves at our doorsteps and rocketing our people.
I think it's only a matter of time until there will be another attack out of South Lebanon. Again, supported by the Syrians as well as the Iranians.
In a peace reaffirmed, we will examine past and current peace plans and ask, does the Bible predict there will ever be peace in the Middle East?
Can you be partners with the Palestinians right now?
No.
And have a peace process?
No, of course not.
Why not?
Because they want to kill us. They want to kill us, and they don't want us here. They say it again and again and again, nonstop.
Finally, in a temple rebuilt, we will inform you of the preparations currently underway to rebuild the Jewish temple on the most controversial piece of real estate in the world, the Temple Mount. Where are all of these events heading in the future? Are we close to the return of Jesus Christ to earth? My guest today and guide through Israel is journalist and prophecy scholar Dr. Jimmy DeYoung, who has lived in Jerusalem since 1993. He has interviewed every Israeli prime minister over the last 15 years, as well as Jordan's King Abdullah and the late Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat. I'm Dr. John Ankerberg, host of the John Ankerberg television show. Join us as we travel to the Holy Land to investigate Israel under fire. We begin today in the heart of Jerusalem on Ben Yehuda Street, where you can see evidence of the Jewish people who have come to Israel from over 108 nations of the world. Every Independence Day, this is one of the main places they gather to celebrate the founding of the modern state of Israel.
I've been on this same street on Independence Day when they have the celebration. This one little pedestrian street could probably take care of about 200,000 people. I've seen that many out here. The celebration goes wild. They use these little shaving cream attacks. And I have been attacked. Everybody's attacked here on Ben Yehuda Street. But what it speaks of is the independence that was established for the Jewish state after a war. Of course, the pronouncement that Israel was going to be a nation among the nations of the world took place at Independence Hall, and after that, you see the Burger King over here. That used to be the Atari Cafe. On the lore story of the cafe, you would have Haganah, the fighting force for the young Jewish nation. Right there. Upstairs, on the second floor, you would have the group of Menachem Begin and Yitzhak Shamir. They were referred to as the underground. And though they would not work in concert together, they would communicate between each other. They did it right there at the Burger King. But this street speaks of not only the independence of the nation, but the wars of the nations as well. I'm reminded of one of the worst terrorist attacks ever to hit the Jewish people here in the city of Jerusalem. It happened here on Ben Yehuda Street, just up the street a moment or two ago. And the truth is that we have the police units here, and the terrorist guys, that's the most elite unit in all of Israel dealing with the terrorists. Yes, two of them. And so it's here on a crowded street that these terrorists, these Palestinian fundamentalist Islamic terrorists, would come in trying to continue their struggle to get rid of the Jewish state of Israel.
Welcome. I'm John Ankerberg, and I'm here with Dr. Jimmy DeYoung, who's going to be our guide through Israel and also our guide through biblical prophecy. In this very first segment, we're going to talk about a nation reborn, speaking about the modern miracle of Israel becoming a modern state in our lifetime. Jimmy, introduce this for us.
Well, John, over the last 100 years, out of 108 nations of the world, Jews have returned to the land of their forefathers. My study of Bible prophecy over the years and living in Jerusalem has given me a front row seat on not only history, but this miracle that you're talking about, which is revealed in Bible prophecy, a miracle of a nation reborn.
Jimmy and I traveled to Tel Aviv, to Independence Hall, where it all started when David Ben-Gurion read the Declaration of Independence on May 14, 1948, and the modern state of Israel was born.
We're in the heart of downtown Tel Aviv, which is one of the newer cities here in the state of Israel. In fact, a monument there, John, to those who built this city. They say that Jerusalem is where you worship, Haifa is where you study, Tel Aviv is where you play here in Israel. John, right here in the center of Tel Aviv, Independence Hall. If there's ever a monument to the fulfillment of prophecy, this is the place where they announce to the world the new state, the modern day state of Israel.